vinyl community, Jeff here, and it is time to take a look at some of the latest buys that have come in. These actually came in right before the weekend, but it was a busy weekend, so I didn't get a chance to make a video. If you're a fan of this band, if you knew about these releases, you've seen people on Facebook showing them left and right, so you may be already aware of these. But I'm talking about the 2 of the 3 latest reissues of Stryper's material. And these are on the Church of Vinyl, which have done all kinds of picture discs and special releases over the years. And these latest 3, one came out a little prior to these 2, and then these 2 came out together. So we have their most recent 2020 album, Even the Devil Believes. And what they're basically doing is reissuing these albums. The artwork has changed up a little. If you know the original album, this is the back of the original album. And it's still the back of this album here. It's got this devil figure, you know, at the foot of the cross. Whereas the actual album had the devil bowing down at the throne with the, you know, godlike figure on there. So what they've done is they've taken that and put that in the inside as a pop-up. So the cover is now the inside as a pop-up, and they've been doing this with the recent issues, you'll see. So just an interesting little way to redo the album. And then it comes with this is actually the insert. I mean, the album didn't come in this, but this is what you would put the album in. It's got the lyrics, it's got the picture, very similar to the other, and then they actually package the album in a paper sleeve, which, yeah, you know, could have been polylined, but. And most of these, well, these are all, they're in clear, translucent yellow. Basically, if I remember correctly, actually, let me look. So what they've done is they've released actually 777 hand-numbered copies of these. And so mine is 165 of 777. So apparently the first 15 are liquid-filled. Now, I've heard a lot of weird things about liquid-filled albums not sound that great, so, but I've never seen one of these. I don't know what the Stryper ones look like. I've never seen them advertised, so it must be so limited that only certain people can get it. Number 16 through number 50 is a yellow and black splatter, and then everything over 51 to 777 are the translucent yellow. So, and I believe that is for both that and the reissue of Goddamn Evil. This is their 2018 album. And just like the other one, you've got a version of the cover. If you remember the cover on this one, it's got like that big, people say it looks kind of like Zeus or almost like Poseidon. But you've got that big Greek god-looking character coming down and striking the earth with this, and people are blowing up and everything there. So you've got that altered on the cover. You've got the back picture of the band, which was also on the original. And then you've got the pop-up of the actual cover there. So, back up a little, there you go. Actually, it's the cover, but you don't see the base where they're striking the people, which is really more that. And interesting enough, the inside even has that destruction. You can kind of see the destruction. It's on both sides. Obviously, there's no way to really see it, but it's interesting that it's printed, same thing on both sides. It's printed on the inside. Kind of an interesting little fun thing there. So yeah, another limited edition with a gatefold double record. I mean, single record, but a gatefold. And again, it's the same way. They've got the record sleeve, which came separate with the lyrics and the stuff there, and then the album is in a paper sleeve. And again, I got the numbers that were above that were all in the yellow. In my case, I got 189 of 777. Now, they're sold from a lot of places. Church of Vinyl, I mean, as far as I know, I don't know if they've got an actual website that they sell through. I always end up getting them. Now, there was one, the only Stryper album that I did not have any on vinyl issue of, because it was just so hard to get back in the day, was No More Hell to Pay, 2013. So that was before I started buying records again. And so by the time I got into records, I did have my hands close to a copy of one that somebody was selling for like $50, and it was on eBay, and I just didn't do it immediately. I was like at Busch Gardens or something. By the time I got around to it, it was gone. I've seen them here and there, but that was in the early days of when I was back into buying records, and so that one slipped through my fingers. I have yet to ever own a copy of that. So that one has been reissued. That one on the website that I was buying from, I was buying mine from No Remorse Records out of Italy. And they pop up, I'd get the email, and then I went there and looked, and it was gone. And I wrote them and said, why is the email came out on Monday, and here Tuesday I'm not seeing it? And they said they sold out, within minutes. I'm like, ugh. But then I saw that Stryper was selling them on their website. And so I went ahead and bought one, and I got notification yesterday that it was shipped. So it was shipped yesterday. So Stryper, or it's shipping today. It was printed yesterday. So that is forthcoming. So I bought these at 2 different times through No Remorse Records out of Italy. No Remorse Records is also a company that has reprinted a lot of good stuff. While I was ordering those and saving on the shipping, I went ahead and picked up 2 copies of the Quiet Riot 1 and 2 album. Now, if you remember, I have the box set. The box set has gray, like silver or gray record, CD, cassette, all the big packaging deal. And these are just the actual black records. They were much cheaper than the box sets. They have all the same stuff inside that I showed before. They have posters, the inserts, etc. And so what I wanted is, I'm keeping the box sets intact, as unplayed as, mint basically. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and have some playable copies on black vinyl. So I went ahead and grabbed those. Again, it was the shipping. I'm already paying the shipping for the album, so I went ahead and threw those in because they're actually really fairly cheap as far as the actual cost of the record. Now also, when you buy from No Remorse Records, if you spend over a certain amount of money, and since I bought the 2 Quiet Riot with the Stryper, I went over their limit, I forget what it was, $75 or something, you get to choose a free CD. And they have a list of a lot of them, and none of the bands I know. I'm looking through, I'm basing it on looks. I went through and I sampled a couple samples of their music online to kind of get an idea. And I finally found one that not only was impressive looks-wise, but when I heard it, I'm like, yeah, I got to get this. Now, I don't know the band. I don't know anything about them. Metal Machine by Resistance. But it turns out to be just excellent, melodic, heavy metal. Of course, I got the armor-looking guy there. Kind of reminded me of like Hammerfall or something along that line. This is their 3rd album. They're an LA-based band, actually. I kind of thought they were European since they're on No Remorse. They're actually on No Remorse Records. So their label is from Italy. This is their 3rd album, kind of a comeback album. They had an album in 2004, they had an album in 2006, and then all of a sudden, 2017. So 11 years later, they come back with this, and I really liked it. This is really good stuff. Just straight up metal. It was just solid metal. The Metal Machine, Hail to the Horns, Rise and Defend, Some Gave All. Very, just typical battle type themes, etc. Really dig it. So yeah, free. Love that. Now, Saturday we were out and about. We were going to some other yard sale or something that ended up not even being there. On another part of town, it's the part of town where that record store is that I've mentioned before, where I buy a lot of the unofficial releases. We were in that neighborhood, but I'm like, I don't really want to go there because I've really been pulling back on buying stuff, and I knew if I went in there, it's costly. But my wife's like, she's looking on her phone. She said, there's another record store like 4 miles from here. We'd never heard of this record store in the same part of town next to us. I know of the 3 main record stores in my town of Virginia Beach. That one is in Norfolk, the one that I'm talking about that was over there. My wife's like, there's another record store in Norfolk on the other side of town, about 4 miles away. I'm like, okay, well, let's go. Now, we get there, and it's a big store. Lots of CDs, lots of, big, whole, giant, long row of records. Took me a while to look at it. So, it is in a part of town which is a little more... they had a lot more pop, a lot more rhythm and blues, a lot more funk, a lot more, that type of music. But intertwined in there a little bit was a metal here and there. And I was seeing that they had some of the imports that came from one of the UK companies, and the 10 inches and stuff like that. And I thought, okay, well, they've got some decent stuff. Prices were average. Records were anywhere from $25 to $37 usually. But I feel kind of bad. You go through the records, you're in there for a long time, you're talking to the people, you're looking through everything, and there's like nothing really jumping out at me that I really wanted to buy, that I was itching to get. But I did see one thing that I'm like, well, that's a really good price, and it's not something that I can really get easily online. So I did feel like I wanted to go ahead and buy something to support them while I was there, since I was there for so long. So I picked up this, bootleg. It's a concert from Dream Theater, and it's a double record set, and it was only $24. So I thought, it's just on black wax. It's in paper sleeves, nothing major. It's not a gatefold single, but it's a live from 1993, live at Summerfest Milwaukee, June of '93. So this would have been the Mike Portnoy years, and and I thought, well, that's a good thing. And then I was talking to him and everything. They had a few things that were decent. They had some Anvil and some Metallica and some stuff like that that was interesting to look at. But that was it. That was neat to find a new store. Probably will revisit it here and there just to kind of keep up with what they got going on. So, but that's it for now. Just wanted to share. Thanks for watching. I'll be back. I want to get into some of these contests that are floating around out there. Of course, I would. Rock on and rock hard.